through, we got 2 frameworks we're going to go through. That's going to be super key game changer. Okay? All right, Michelle, we good? All right, so let's start off with, so magnetic marketing campaigns. Magnetic marketing campaigns. And I see you cheating, Dre. G and Dre, I don't cheat. I'm giving it to y'all one at a time for a reason, all right? My man already had the whole list written down, Joe. All right, so what's key about really marketing with what we do, right? So we're influencers, we're coaches, we're speakers, right? The thing about marketing, and we alluded a little bit to it earlier, is that people have to see what we're doing, right? We're in an age that now is people, they want to be able to see what you can actually do. You know, back in the day, it was a little bit easier, especially when it wasn't as prevalent or the world wasn't as connected. And it's just like, okay, you're the neighborhood guy that can help me with, with accounting, or you can help me with this, or you can help me with that, which is great. But then now that you got access to so many people in the internet, in the world, right? Part of it now is like, okay, well, everybody is saying that they do that, right? So how do I know you can actually do what you're saying that you can do? How do I know you can actually help me, right? So what's important about doing the marketing of it and not just saying I'm this person is so you could demonstrate it and actually be able to help more people transform lives. Because at the end of the day, you could be the best motivational speaker in the world. I could snap my fingers right now and I could give everybody, if I give everybody the skill of E.T. the hip hop preacher right now, just because you have that skill doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be successful, because you got to know how to attract people. You got to know how to get them to buy into what you have. You got to get them to know how to buy into your beliefs, buy into your products, and buy into your services. There's a lot of basketball players that are great, but they're not in the NBA. You get what I'm saying? So part of that is being able to know specifically what you got to do in order to gain the business, right? And what we're really talking about these sessions, this is adding more tools to the tool belt, like we talked about. More tools to the tool belt, right? All right, so with that, let's go ahead and jump into the first one. So very first thing, and we talked about it, but write it down if you haven't already. Demonstrate your expertise. Demonstrate your expertise. Right? When it comes to demonstrating your expertise, do it in different ways. Do it in different ways. So one of the things that I see and I commend, and we even got, even one of our people that do this, that when I go out and I see people that they do, like, it's great even if you posting, like you could post videos every day, but if every single video is the same thing, you look and face the camera, although you giving value when you look into the camera, people will get bored, right? And you want more people to be paying attention to you. You want more people to be following you, because the more people follow you, obviously it's going to be people who you'll be surprised a year later, those will be the same people that sign up for your program. Like, yo, Yannick, I was watching you for like the past year. You know what I'm saying? But you got to stay consistent and demonstrate your expertise, and it can't be boring. It got to be something that's interesting. What's funny, my frat brother Maurice is on right now, right? And what's funny is Mo been rocking with me for 2 years, right? Just got a part of the program in the last year, right? And what's interesting about that is, like, we've been talking about business for a minute. Like, he told me this years ago. He wanted to, do public speaking and everything, as he mentioned earlier, right? And so we were talking about it, and this is when I was doing live events out in VA, and I was talking about it, but no, I'm not sure, wasn't quite ready, I'm not quite ready, cool. I didn't press the issue because I know sometimes people are not ready. So that's cool, right? So I didn't press it, right? So with that, but we stayed connected, and he was following me, right? And he always see me posting video, posting content, posting video, different things. Every so often I reach out to him, text him, yo, how you doing? How things going? Every so often, right? And then eventually we had a conversation. He was like, yo, let's do it. Like, yo, I'm ready now. Like, yo, let's go out. And he signed up for a year of the program. Like, let's just do it. Right? And the reason he did that is because he saw the consistency. Had I fell off after we had that conversation, it would have been like, well, is he really, I heard, remember that thing you used to do? Like, somebody say something like that to you. Mm-hmm. Right? And if people are saying that means that you're not out there enough for people to see you. So demonstrating your expertise, right? Doing it consistently, posting, Instagram stories, video, IGTV, What's interesting about doing, you want to do YouTube. So my YouTube channel is something that I'm heavily focused on developing right now, especially as you're getting speaking engagements. A lot of time they're not going to go to your IG. First thing they'll do is they'll look you up on YouTube, or they want to know your YouTube link, right? So you want to be able to you want to be able to have some kind of portfolio like that, right? So if you can have that, that'd be great. But posting different types of content, quotes, that's you quote yourself, quoting somebody else. You can also post content of other people too, right? You can post, like, feel free to like repost my content. Like, I repost people content all the time. I just reposted something that David Shanes wrote the other day. I was like, yo, like, this is dope. Do that, because now, boom, you constantly reminding, you building those relationships. Also, you can, if any kind of viral content, right? So any kind of viral content that you see, feel free to repost that. There's actually an app that's called Repost. I think they got a free and a paid version of it. I just think the difference is it might have like their logo or something, something like with a watermark on it. But Repost, and then literally anything that you see on Instagram, you can copy the link and it automatically copies it to repost. And then now you can just press post, and then it'll post it. It'll put it on your page. You can change the description if you want, do whatever, post it, and now you can do that. Now, guess what? The great part about that is if something is already viral or something already is popular, have a lot of views, you can predict that it's going to have that same level of effect because people already like it for whatever reason, right? Music, tempo, because there's a feeling, people connect to it for whatever reason. So feel free to repost. So if you see that, I do a lot of reposts too, right? And that's just an easy way to get more people involved and engaged in what you're doing, okay? But people should see you on stages. People should see you coaching others. People should see you talking direct to camera. People should see you, let's say if you got you may have your phone set up here. I love the fact I gave Dre some advice a couple weeks back, and I was like, yo, Dre, you doing so many direct to camera videos. He's like, yo, I got you. So next few videos, I'm seeing him like he looking over. You see that, right? He's looking over here talking. I think he was on the phone for one of them, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I love that. Like that's what we got to be able to do, right? Switch it up and constantly make sure we're doing that, right? What's some other interesting ways you can create content? You can do, like, if you have a podcast, feel free to post a podcast. You know, you see people with the lines on their podcast, so you can do that. Interview other people, right? Interview other people in your niche. You can do that. You see me do that all the time. Interview E.T., interview David, interview different people. That's part of our niche. So that's a great way. So everything all of these different spider webs, they all come up to you adding valuable content to your target audience. And the more value you add, especially on a consistent and a recurring basis, that's the more they're going to come back. And the more they're going to come back, eventually, as they're coming back and watch your content every so often, you're going to be like, hey, listen, my coaching program, boom, boom, hey, check this out. Or you might be showing videos of it, or you might be, just giving a conversation to say about my clients, to like give a story about a client, right? And the more that we do these things, the better it is. One of the things that I do when I'm doing speaking engagements is that every time I do a speech, or every time I give a point, I tell a short story, and that short story is about some kind of interaction or some kind of way that I help the client. Right? So those are like subliminal things, right? So when you're saying that, and then throughout your speech, you're kind of dripping different situations with different clients or different programs, different things that you have, then now, naturally, when you present it, it's not going to be like something new. It's not going to be a shocker. They already know. You've been talking about it already, right? So that's key for online, but it's also key for when you're doing speaking engagements too, right? Like, so feel free to do that. All right, so that's the first one. Start demonstrating your expertise. One of the things my coach says, he says, just stand flat-footed and speak. Just speak. Speak in front of your audience, and you're gonna and this is key too, be yourself. Be transparent. Don't be afraid to. You want to be obviously the best that you can be. So any way that you can clean up your fillers or your stutters, or for certain things like that, you want to get better over time, but at the same time, you still want to be yourself. I had an issue of trying to be and emulate other speakers when I first got out, and my wife used to tell me this all the time, like, you just don't seem like you yourself. My coach used to say, you sound like you performing, like you in performance mode all the time.